Hello, beautiful one. Clearing spaces within our being, past experiences that hold densities that we no longer want to align with, those experiences repeating themselves in our lives. The reason why the cycles happen is because it's all energy. So if you are in a space of experiencing densities connected with shame or guilt, fear, it doesn't matter what the emotion is. It can even be joy and bliss. Whatever you're running in your being, thought-wise, program-wise, belief-wise, perception of your life, how you perceive your life. Does it feel beautiful? Or does it feel heavy? Does it feel expansive? Or does it feel dense and draining? I mean, only you can answer that question. Whatever you feel about your life, and it's usually always hooked to past experiences that you've had that built that foundation of energetic, emotional connection to your life, right? Well, whatever that is for you, whatever you are feeling, you are aligning with to continue to experience. And that's the secret to it all. That's the secret to it all. And why does it happen that way? Because, one, it's all energy, and that's how energy works. Whatever we focus on, we expand. What happens is we have an experience, we perceive it as however we perceive it. Let's go with annoying. We have an experience with another individual or work or school or whatever it is, and we perceive it immediately as, oh, this is so annoying. I hate this, right? You have an energetic emotion, an energy emotion connected with that thought of this is so annoying. You feel annoyed. That is energy in motion. It's vibing out of you. And you know this because when you get in proximity with any other individual, most of us can sense if that individual is happy, if that individual is detached, if that individual is angry, if that individual, no matter what it is, you can pick up on it usually because it's energy. That's the key of this space of what we're understanding here. So you set that foundation when you have that experience and you feel that emotion. And then what happens is that energy, that emotion coming out of you aligns you to another experience that matches that emotion, that matches that energy. So you end up then doing it again, having another experience come along that's annoying. And so you feel annoyed. And so you emanate out the energy of, the vibration of. And what does that do? It aligns you again. Therefore, you've now built a cycle and you're repeating the connectiveness of that same experience. But that is you being the creator of your life. If you change the perception, if you change the emotion that you hold towards the experience, you will change the experiences you align with. You are still the creator of your life. You're just consciously creating. It's huge. This is huge. This is it. This is it. I'm telling you. I know there's a million programs and systems and books. That's the key of it. There is work that you can do in many areas of this to own that conscious creator within you and totally realign your life, or strengthen the alignment of your life. So you can go back to spaces that you held denser, connective perceptions with, right? You had a immediate perception of being annoyed. You can go back there and you can change that. Yes, you can. It's energy. It never dies. It's still vibing away, and it's your energy. So it's vibing within your being. I do this for a living as well. So if you would like to work with me one-on-one and or in a group session, check out my page, sacredexpansion.com, or email me and ask me questions about setting that up, and we will do so. But you can go back to these spaces, and this is self-mastery. This is inner work. This is conscious living. You go back in and you find the space that needs your assistance, and you're not going back as the individual life, this now version of you, because that is a lot to put on yourself. You're going back in as your wholeness, remembering who you are. You are light. You are eternal. You are consciousness, having a human experience. You have had other experiences before this, and you will have more after this. This isn't it. So you go back to the space as that wholeness version of you, and that is your strength, right? It's like asking, it's like if you were trying to pick up something heavy and you tried to do it with one finger, and it was a big box, and you put one finger under that box. It's going to be almost impossible to lift that box, right? You might move it a little, you might tilt it a little, but if you were to take both your hands, and if I had a phone holder, I could use both my hands in this analogy, but my one hand is holding my phone. But it's on my Amazon wish list, which is down below if anybody wanted to get it for me. I'll give you a shout out. Anyways, if you had this big box to move and you used both your hands, you could lift it easily and move it easily. So when you go into your wholeness to go back to those spaces of you that need that love, it makes it much easier. It's how the system was set up and created to work. We're not designed to go in pieces and parts of ourselves to heal spaces. We're designed to own our sovereignty, to remember who we are, and come forth with our wholeness as we navigate and heal. And so you go into that space and you find it and you bring in healing. That means forgiveness. It doesn't mean you condone what was done, in the sense that if something traumatic or really bad was done to you, like I mean, I've had clients with everything from rape to incest to, you know, really, really dark stuff that they've had to navigate. You're not condoning what was done. When you are forgiving, you're forgiving the space that you left yourself in, that you shut the door on because you didn't want to see it or feel it. You're forgiving that. You're forgiving judging your now self, that version of you that's in that space, and leaving them there. You're, in a sense, forgiving all involved, as in knowing that they had no clue consciously truly what they were doing. It doesn't mean what they did was right, and it doesn't say it was right. It just says you no longer choose to carry it as a density within your being. So it's for you more so than anything else. It's self-love to offer that forgiveness to that space, and find yourself in that space, that younger self, whatever that is, a year ago, 20 years ago, 50 years ago, it doesn't matter. Find yourself in that space. And I've mentioned this in videos before. Pause the memory. It's going to feel emotional at first when you get in there. And again, I do this work for a living. So if you would like someone to go with you, look at my website, email me, and I can give you more information on the services I offer. You are capable of doing this, but some people need and just benefit from someone going with them into this space, guiding. And some need to and could go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist to do this type of work. So please, I state that clearly, even in the description below, to make mindful thoughts of how you choose to navigate your past experiences and your healing process. Everyone is different. So if you are one who is going in, and I've had many ask me for this information, so that's why I'm making this video. If you are going into this space as your wholeness, and you are pausing the space and you are the memory, and you are finding that version of you from that now, that younger version, whatever it is, time-wise, and you are communicating with you. You are saying first and foremost, I'm sorry I left you here. Because most of the time, in the densest spaces of our memories, of our experiences, we shut those doors and we leave pieces of ourselves in them. A great example of what I mean by this is, say that it happened as a child and the child had a nickname. So then as the being grows up, they hate that nickname because they have very dense memories, right? Painful memories of that space. They lock that space of themselves up. They don't want to be called that name anymore. They don't want to really remember anything about that space anymore. When you go back to that space, you pause it and you connect with that version of you, and you bring in an apology first and foremost, and you bring in a massive amount of love for yourself, for that version of you. And you really connect into that version of you and see yourself. You know what that moment felt like, but in that moment, you can't be that you. You need you to be your whole you, your wholeness, the higher self. You are the higher self in that moment. There is nothing higher in that moment. You are the higher self going into that past space. And you say to that version of you, I love you. I'm so sorry. You navigated one of the densest spaces of our existence. And you did it. You got us through. We survived because of you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm right here. I'm holding you. Hug them, hold them. Tell them how precious and beautiful they are. And I mean, honest to God, they're the strongest part of you. And they got shunned away because they navigated the most difficult space of your being, or one of. So going back with forgiveness, understanding, gratitude, love, and reconnecting to that part of yourself. And then hold that space and know that you are light and you are connected directly to Source Light, God, the creator of all. There are many other gods in between here that have been created by man and others, but we're talking about Source, right? The eternal one, space of the nothingness of everything that all comes from. That's who you are connected to at all times. You are a part of, a piece of God, experiencing this now. So that moment with your past self, you bring in that connection of light and you allow it to flow. You're just holding it, right? You can move your hands if you want. You can see your hands like I do and allow the energy to flow. And in many ways, many of you will use this video. I can hear that. And you will allow this video and the energy that I am emanating from my being to assist. And you will allow that energy to bring healing on all levels of that space to all connected. Those who caused the density, those who received that experience, and anyone affected since. So this is big because say you had this experience as a child and then that stayed in your energy line, and then you had a child many, later on in life. When they were in your womb, they were connected to this energy. It's in their line. So now as you clear it, it's going to affect their line as well, to bring clearing and healing and love. It's huge work. It's how we shift our planet. It's how we shift our planet. It's higher dimensional healing of the being. Because this is the being we're working on. This we're talking about right here is the now line. Yes, the human being now line. But this work also applies to past lives that can be human and or other planets, other spaces, other dimensions. There's so much to this. And this can also be ancestral. But as far as we're concerned, the work we're here to do right now is for our planet Earth and for humanity. So as we heal individually, as we heal through our family lines, we then in essence heal the collective and our planet. So you doing you is huge. It's huge. And like I said, it ripples out to all those connected to you after this space of healing that you are laying in this connection. Again, if you need additional information or additional assistance, there are many ways you can go about that, but I am also here, and the work that I do, I believe, is a higher dimensional take on this. I believe that there are many beings on our planet right now who have these higher dimensional understandings coming in, and they are here because we are becoming and being the new human. We are more than what we have been told. We are more than what we have been. We are expanding, anchoring into our wholeness. Some have asked me about working with and how to connect with their guides, their teams of light, their ancestors to do this work. You are being asked to own your sovereignty. It doesn't mean that we're not surrounded by light, because we are, and I have the videos to prove it. And I say that with honor and humility and absolute joy. At the same time, the reason why I have so much light around me is because of how much I have been owning my sovereignty for years, at least several years now. And I have become more and more accountable for my own responses to all situations I navigate. I have become more and more anchored in owning my responses and not allowing myself to blame anyone else for how I feel in any given moment, because that is fully 100% under my control. And as we navigate these spaces of the past, we are guided by versions of ourselves that are in dimensions higher than us in this now, but it's us, it's God, because you're never separate from God. I do have protector beings around me. I have seen them, and I've actually been able to see new ones just in the last 2 months because of the raise in my vibration. We are vibrational beings. The experiences we sense, feel, see around us, our lives that unfold, our experiences are a direct reflection of the vibration we are in. And as you clear densities from spaces within your being, and you do it, you can do this. You are designed to do this. It's why you are here, to learn this, to expand your being. You are who you have been waiting for. You are who you have been waiting for, and I am here to remind you of that. And the energy work I do unlocks and opens up spaces within individuals' beings' consciousness so they can hear and they can feel and they can see and know the truth, their truth, because there's been programs and systems put in place that have not been in accordance with universal law. They have been against that, and me and other beings like myself are here on the planet now because humanity's consciousness is ready. They can receive now, and we are here to say no more, and we are here to make that difference so that humanity can awaken. So that's what I do. That's what my work is about. That's what the energy that you feel is about. Reconnection to your wholeness, your I am within, your truth, remembering who you are and living, being who you are, conscious creator. Okay, I'm going to leave this here, and I am eternally grateful to walk with each and every one of you, powerful beings of light. I love you, I love you, I love you. Bye-bye.